Sooner or later, if you're ever going to have the life that you want, you're going to have to go all in. Coming to you from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Quinn Spinn. Hey now, and welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all, to a brand new edition of the Quinn Spinn. I'm your host, the Quinn. At least that's how I'm known here on the program. I'm back here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube, and more for another rousing and riveting installment of the official podcast of Underground Music Collective. And you just heard Revel 9's All I've Become at the top of the show. That's been our opening theme song here at the Quinn Spinn since the great year of 2014, and it will be until the very end of days. And I'm back. If you're watching this, you'll see all by my lonesome, delivering another solo mission, some insights into the life and times of a creative entrepreneur, that creative entrepreneur being me. Before we get into today's topic, just want to encourage you to like, share, follow, subscribe, whatever the mechanism is on your platform of choice, whether you're watching or listening, please do it. Please help me help this message reach more people, because I think it's a very important one, especially today. I'm really excited to get to this. Thank you for your support. So I'm going to tell you a story, and I want to know if this sounds like somebody you know, or maybe even yourself. So, person wakes up about 7 o'clock. They're not particularly looking forward to the day ahead, because it's going to start by them sitting in traffic on the way to a cubicle. A gray, four-walled cubicle, cozy, comfortable, complacent little nest, right? And in that cubicle, they're going to spend the next 8.5, 9 hours doing things they don't necessarily care about, for people they don't necessarily like, until around 5 o'clock or maybe 4:30, depending how fed up everyone else is with the day. They're going to leave. They're going to go sit in more traffic on the way home. Then, they might, grab dinner. They might go to the gym after work, but by the time they do those things, shower, all that, 3 more hours have gone by, 2.5 if you're lucky and traffic was kind to you on the way home. And by then it's about 8 o'clock, right? And what do you do with the rest of the night? Well, you could work on your dream. You could watch that new next Netflix show. You could do anything with it, but your time is finally yours after spending 13 hours of it doing other things and getting your basic needs met, right? That was me in 2019, 2020, working a job I really didn't like just for the paycheck, just for the cushiness of it all, and thinking I can do this on the side, right? I can build UMC, I can do the Quinn Spinn, I'll just do it on the side, right? Until I realized somewhere in the middle of the pandemic in 2020, I didn't move 800 miles away from my family and friends and everything and everybody I've ever known to build my passions on the side so I could work full time for a health insurance company. And so what it's taught me a lot of things, a lot of rough and tumble lessons, but one of the big ones right now that I'm going to share with you, and this may give you a fear-based reaction, so brace yourselves. If you're sitting in a good chair, grab onto the sides. Sooner or later, if you're ever going to have the life that you want, you're going to have to go all in. I felt the collective clench. I felt people starting to say, well, I don't have time. I don't have the money for that. I need my job. Oh, I have kids. I have a mortgage. I have responsibilities. I'm not telling you to skirt your responsibilities. And if you're not ready with any other income source, I'm not even necessarily telling you to leave that job right now. You might want to find a better one. You might want to find something that's more conducive to you and fills your cup a little better if, in fact, it's draining your life force. But we all have responsibilities. We all have to pay the bills. I understand. I've been there. I'm still there. We're all still there. We all have these responsibilities. But at the end of the day, there is a way. There are so many ways. There is a clear path that maybe you haven't discovered yet to make your dreams work for you. But it's up to you to use your time wisely to figure out what that path is and figure out how to find the opportunities, how to find the connections, how to build the platform that allows you to build that life. Now, what's the consequence of not doing that, of not taking that daily action every single day? Whether you just have that 2-3 hour window at the end, or you have all day, every day to build your vision, if you don't take that deliberate, intentional action, and you're not all in on your goals, you're not all in on building this thing, moving with purpose through your life in whatever way that you are capable right now, the consequence of that is a vision unrealized, a mission unaccomplished, and values out of alignment. And what happens when our values are out of alignment? When we don't feel fulfilled, when we don't feel like our life is going the way we want it to go, we start filling that void externally. We find vices, we find bad habits. It could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be bad relationships, it could be gambling, it could be any of those things. You could get addicted to social media or video games or Netflix or whatever. But all of these things, ultimately, all these external stimuli, they might give us that dopamine rush, but it's nothing compared to the internal sense of fulfillment we will get from building what we're here to build. But to do that, eventually you've got to leave safety. You've got to leave comfort. Because not only will that free up your time, not only will it free up this valuable finite resource that all of us, no matter who we are, only has so much of, but it's going to teach you everything you need to know. Not only about running a business, not only about building a platform, but about yourself. It's going to expose all of the holes in your game. It's going to show you everything that you need to work on, not only as a professional, but as a person, to show up and build the life that you desire to have. And that's going to show through in your business. That's going to show through in your finances. That's going to show through in the way you take care of yourself. It's going to show through in your relationships, right? You are going to learn everything you need to know. You're going to learn all your flaws, and you're going to have the opportunity to grow through those and address those and improve upon them and learn so many valuable lessons that you can then impart to your fellow creatives, to your fellow ambitious people, to anybody who has a vision for their life and they don't know where to begin building that vision. It starts here. It starts with daily action. It starts with taking control of our lives, taking control of our time, and committing to this path. I'm making it sound easy right now, perhaps to some of you. And I'm here to tell you, I will never sit here and tell you that this is easy to build a platform from zero. I always say it. I said it last week on the show. I'm going to say it again. Anyone who tells you that this is easy is either naive, because they haven't done it, they haven't been on the journey long enough, or they're trying to sell you something. They're trying to sell you the secret. The secret is hard work. The secret is intentional, deliberate action every single day, over time, over 10 years, perhaps. And if you put in that work, eventually you're going to see that snowball effect. You're going to see that momentum. You're going to see things start to take shape. And it might not look how you thought it would look. It might not come to you in exactly the way you imagine, but one day you will look up and you will look around and you'll see, I've got the life I want. I'm moving with purpose every day. I wake up and do the things that I love every day. I'm surrounded by people I love every single day. And when you're surrounded by that love, when you're surrounded by that purpose, you realize how easy it is to lean into and to not let any of these external stimuli, any of this bad news, any of this hate that comes from people, any of this misunderstanding, this negativity come in and throw you off that purpose. It's a beautiful place to get to, and I want you to get there. But to get there, you've got to commit. You've got to go all in. You've got to believe enough in not only your vision, not only your dream, but yourself, to say, I'm building this. I don't care what gets in my way. I don't care how hard it gets. I'm going to find a way through. So there you have it, folks. Hope you enjoy that. Hope you got something out of it. Hope you're ready to run through a brick wall and get to it today. And if you want more from the Quinn Spinn, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. Also on Instagram at Quinn Spinn Official, 2 N's in Quinn, 2 N's in Spin. You can learn more about the show and all things independent music, creativity, community, and more at undergroundmusiccollective.com. That's our central hub. You can learn more about UMC on the socials. Instagram's the big one at UMC Nashville, but we're also on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, where you might be watching this episode right now, as a matter of fact. And you can also follow the UMC 20 Spotify playlist, which has 20 fresh tracks and the latest episode or episodes of this very podcast every single Tuesday, freshly updated. We got the best of June up there right now if you're watching this on release day, or in release week anyway. Nash Live has some upcoming shows this fall as well at Nash Live shows. That's our events arm here at UMC. Our next one actually is September 8th at the Cobra in Nashville, and that just so happens to be the 10th anniversary of episode 1 of this podcast. So stay tuned for some special lineup announcements as we go. Rebel 9's All Become going to take us out like it brought us in. Grab some muffins on the way out.